Hans, Bobby, I'm your white knight.
Want to get your hands on some sports cards?
Hell yes!
You're in the right place.
Good morning.
Is everybody ready?
Welcome to the weekly Target Watch on SCHULTZY'S Card Pull.
What is up, sports fans? 4:03 Pacific time, 7:03 East Coast time, 3 minutes into the hot zone here on SCHULTZY'S Card Pulls. What is up, y'all? Good to see everybody. Waiting, hoping, praying for some mega boxes of the select 2021 football variety here on Target.com. This week we have our weekly, or I guess bi-weekly restock that we got coming up here on Target.com. Waiting for some sports cards here on the weekly Target Watch, but mainly it's the select 2021 megas. So good to see y'all. What is going on to every single one of you in the chat? Make sure you say hey. I see a bunch of people hanging out already talking about a couple of different things, the status of the hobby as well. Really in that, but more so just like different prices of cards, things being left on the shelves. We can talk about that. We can talk about all kinds of different things going on with the hobby. If you think that it's going in the right direction with cards being left on the shelves, I want to hear your thoughts on that. If you think that, hey, maybe I liked it when my singles prices were a little bit higher and your base rookies were going for $40, $50, saying, I want to go back to those days. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm not sure those days are ever going to come back in general, and I think that the hobby will be sustainable going forward even without those kinds of prices, and I think that we can find a way that we can all enjoy the hobby, finding a couple of retail boxes on the shelves along with ripping those and hopefully pulling some big hits. But anyways, we'll get into that. What's going on, y'all? 5 minutes past now. We got tons going on in the world of sports. Iceman says, yo, Schultzy. Steve Piero says, Schultzy gang. What's going on? Jalen Harris is Schultzy's biggest fan. Appreciate you, man. Jawan Song, how are you, brother? Samuel, Michael Chang, Sean Sports Cards. Happy morning, D-Gens. Yeah, really would like select megas today, says Sean's. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Russell, D's Nuts, Tommy Two Dimes. Good to see all y'all. Optic basketball megas, Sam. Yeah, so that's just kind of the hope. We haven't seen that variation. I think really any other variation of Optic out there besides blaster boxes and cello packs. So if there are hangers out there, I would assume that they haven't really printed hangers. I think the only other mega box or the only other version out is going to be a mega box. And I don't know, we might see like hangers that were available in the Midwest with like some of those just loose packs in a hanger style box. But I'm not sure that Panini's printing as many hanger boxes anymore, trying to save the environment, go a little green on their end. So ridiculous. But seeing all those like Prizm hanger packs, just like the hanger boxes last year, but now in packs, similar to Select 2021 for Prizm Basketball 21-22. So we're seeing a lot of these going down to packs. So it's going to be hanger packs essentially going forward, not going to be hanger boxes. We're going to have to wrap our minds around that one. They're going to look a little close to the fat packs. We're going to have to be looking a little harder at that label. Yeah, Optic has not come out with any other variation other than the blasters or the cellos. So hopefully we can see some mega boxes for Optic. Hopefully we can see some more Prizm basketball megas. And thinking since we finally saw select basketball dropped, we're probably a week away. Maybe we could get lucky this week and score some select basketball retail blaster boxes. Everybody's going to be trying to find a cheaper way to hunt for those zebras. So excited to see those hit the retail shelves, although I'm interested to see if they will do the same to the zebras. If they are available in retail as far as the value goes, kind of hitting that a little hard. The retail, I don't know. I'm pretty sure out of hobby, you can pull, of course, the club level stuff in football, and then in basketball, it's courtside. But I'm sure in a retail, you're not able to pull like that top tier of zebra. So it won't dilute like the very, very valuable, most valuable one. It probably won't dilute like the most valuable players. I haven't seen too much of that as far as the quarterbacks go from the 2021 class. But it's kind of that new item that we're waiting for is 2021-22 select basketball, as well as those Optic basketball megas, of course. And Coming up, we were at the end of this month here, guys. Welcome to November, by the way. Tuesday, November 1st, guys and girls. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way. Please do that. Helps me feed a couple of kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. But big news. I can't remember when this happened since the last restock, but official that 21-22 Mosaic has been moved to Q1, quarter one of 2023. So we are going to be looking at Mosaic. The release date right now is on the schedule for 1/25. So frustrating, 1/25. So another 2.5 month wait for some Mosaic, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? And we'll still be buying it here in a couple months. Michael says Select doesn't hold as much value as Prizm. Educate yourself, LOL. And the only reason I'm talking about the Select coming up for retail that we would care about is because of those chases that come out of the retail boxes, you know, for case hits like zebras and tie-dyes and that kind of thing. As opposed to Prizm, which thankfully in the NBA version, they have a little bit of an extra chase, that retail 75th anniversary parallel. You got autos as well. But like out of the 2020 version, 2020-21, you didn't really have the 75th anniversary parallel, just like 2020 football and 2021 football. You don't really have a case hit or anything like that to chase. So there is value in Prizm for sure, and Select does not hold as much value long-term as Prizm. But when we're talking about like buyability and trying to chase case hits and your chance at like a zebra, for instance, as opposed to, you know, spending a bunch of money on a hobby box, then you definitely want to look at Select retail for sure. Oh, Hoosier Polls, I appreciate you, buddy. Hoosier Polls, dude, so generous, man. Starting off early, you guys. God, every time you guys like get me goosebumps every single time. Get me emotional. $5 super chat says, thanks for all you do for the hobby, Schultzy. There's so many people you've helped get cards, and we all appreciate you. Dude, Hoosier, I appreciate that, man. That's really kind of you to say, bro. Man, you guys starting out with the kindness early. Like and subs, y'all, says Jawan Song. I appreciate you. J-Mag says dog check. But I don't have any dogs in the background. We got 2 cats named Pikachu and Eevee, but they are, I believe one was awake, so we got 1 out of 2 cats awake right now. We got 1 asleep, Eevee's asleep, and Pikachu is awake, and usually when Pikachu's scratching at the door, that means that there's going to be a restock. Scott Payne says, I might be late to the party, but any word on Select Football Megas? What's going on, Scott? No, you're not late to the party at all. We're hanging out in the hot zone right now, of course. Be ready for anything. I know that we're all used to Target dropping cards on the back end in about the next 5 to 10 minutes or so, and then seeing another restock happen on the front end officially like half an hour from that initial backload. So looking around 4:35 to 4:45. However, we have seen stuff happening later in the morning, and some items might pop up without any initial backload notification because they're just on the website. We still have Select, we still have Optic, we still have a lot of Prizm. The Cellos are available for y'all to buy if you did want Prizm basketball Cellos. They are on Target.com, as well as Topps Baseball Update Series blasters. Not sure I would be buying the retail blasters. If you're going to be spending any money on Topps Baseball Update Series, just go buy a hobby box. It's really, in my opinion, it's just ridiculous. If you want to spend any money on that product at all, don't buy one blaster. Wait a week, wait 2 weeks, or whatever time that you would have had to, you know, get that extra money or spend on another blaster or 2, and just take that money and put it towards a hobby box, a Topps Update Series. So I know some people like retail out there. It's great for set building, but your chances of hitting big out of retail, especially for flagship Topps, is super low, and they print the living hell out of that. What are the bottom 3 sets in your opinion, says Joe from Hawaii? That's a great question, Joe. What are the bottom 3 sets? I mean, if we're talking baseball, I mean, Chronicles just came out, and I would have said Chronicles, but people are really high on Chronicles baseball this year, so I guess I can't really say that one without being called, like, blasphemous against the hobby or something like that. Worst 3 sets. I mean, yeah, Chronicles without logos. I'd say Don Russ without any logos for baseball is one of the worst 3 sets. I'd say a couple other really bad sets out there. I'm trying to think for football and basketball too. I mean, Prestige is a good set for like some autos and case hits, but you still got guys. It's a lot of paper cards with guys in college uniforms. So I don't know. It pains me to say it, but I might have to put Prestige down there. But honestly, I think the worst 3 are probably anything draft picks wise. I think outside of like Prizm draft picks, they're really starting to kind of water it down with like select draft picks and stuff like that this year. Or Chronicles draft picks or anything like that. I saw Chronicles 2021 draft picks, and it just didn't look that great for football. So I'd say almost anything draft picks, probably the worst 3 sets. That's a good indicator right there. There have been really big pulls out of like Prizm draft though. You know, obviously I think a Run Good Life's Zion 1/1 auto at a Prizm draft pick. I think 2018, 2019 for basketball. Huge pull, sick pull. You can pull some big cards out of there. Yeah, Joe from Hawaii says Prestige. Blah. Same odds in Topps Hobby, says Clint Reed. Yeah, but you're guaranteed something when you get a hobby box, brother. That's the thing about that, Clint, is especially when you get the jumbo boxes, you're guaranteed, I think it's 3 autos and 1 mem, as opposed to the hobby boxes, you get 1 auto or mem card guaranteed, and along with something that you don't get in retail, Clint, with the hobby box, you get the silver pack. So you get the Topps silver pack, which everybody is usually highly after every single release, whether it be Series 1, 2, or Update Series. So, yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me that I understand the same odds at retail as there are in hobby for Update Series, but you just don't get the inclusions of the guarantees that you do in hobby, and then you don't get the silver packs. Select Draft Picks is a legit hobby product. Prizm Draft Picks got canceled this year for football. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't trash Select Draft Picks. I'll take that back. My bad. But Prizm Draft Picks getting canceled this year for football. Yikes, that's bad news. Well, thank you for correcting me, Run. That Run Good Life in the house, by the way, you guys. Give those Run Good Life emojis a smack. If y'all are members of Schultzzy's card pulls, you got Run Good Life in the house. Hit those Run Good Life emojis up on the screen. So yeah, Run Good Life absolutely making a valid point with his opinion, and he has a ton of hobby knowledge. So if he's coming in and he says, hey, Select Draft Picks is actually a legit product, then he knows a little bit more than me, or a lot more than me, and I will definitely say, like, okay, I'm wrong about that. But any of the other, I can't see, you know, like a lot of the paper rookies, I think, are kind of going a little bit lesser on the collectability scale going forward long term. So I'd probably kind of have to, if we're not going to include Select on that list, then we kind of got to go back and look at like any of those paper rookies, and what we were talking about with Prestige, and just anything that has like those college uniforms that's in like a NFL, you know, card. It's not going to hold that value long term. I shit on Select Draft when I saw the sell sheet, but it ended up being a good product for 125 to 50, 3 autos and case hits possible. And GTS is showing Prizm Draft as canceled. Dang. That's frustrating. So Run, talking about the profitability possibility on a $150 hobby box with 3 autos and case hits possible. That is a huge potential to make your money back and get a massive hit there for not a lot of money. So I like that point, Run. No, that's a valid point. And yeah, once you look at the checklist and you see, hey, there's a ton of autos, that's really where the value is now in the hobby. It's a lot of autos as well as the chance at case hits. So when you got multiple autos, when you got chances at case hits in a product like Select, and we were just talking about Select compared to Prizm, it is definitely, you know, Prizm is obviously on the highest tier there. I think it goes like, you know, Prizm and then Optic, but then Select is right there. You got that top 3, and some people would place Mosaic above Select. I think Select is 3rd in a lot of people's minds, but then you got Mosaic as well. And I know that I'm just tired. I know that I'm thinking of Know that I'm forgetting one of those like main 5 premium sets, and I apologize. I am meaning to name it, and I'm just not. All right, 4:18 Pacific time, 7:18 East Coast time here on Schultzzy's Card Pulls. We're hanging out, hoping to see a sports card restock. Watching the ceaseless Discord monitors. Have not seen anything new popping up as of yet. I'm watching them. I got my iPad here. I'm on my phone as well. Got a couple of different spots for some ceaseless monitors action, as well as the target tracker. And if you are interested in some paid monitors, guys, go check them out. They're not for everybody, I get that, but they are so gracious and allow us to use their monitor pings when we do get some restocks and info for target.com and what products are dropping when. So appreciate Ceaseless for letting us do that, and happy to promote them to y'all. And yeah, they obviously have many more items on their server besides cards. They got all kinds of extra stuff as well. Shoes, little freebies, like not just little ones, really good stuff. So check it out, guys. The Discord link is down in the description below, but they are paid for that fee every month. All right, looking back at the chat here, almost 4:20 Pacific time, and we can yak about some sports if we want, as we're talking sports card restock action here on target.com. Monday Night Football happening last night. The Browns getting the surprise win, 32-13, excuse me, over the Bengals. Joe Burrow not looking too great last night. We can also talk about Joshua Primo clearing waivers. Wonder if the surrounding news around him is going to allow him from being picked up or not after getting released by the Spurs. Then, of course, you got the NFL trade deadline. So much news. And along with the NFL trade deadline, the Los Angeles Lakers are playing absolutely terrible basketball this year. The LA Lakers, at this point in the season, they haven't played a game since this weekend, right? So they are technically still a 1-win team, 1-5. The Lakers are to start the year. I know a lot of fans in the NBA will revel in that, but there are a lot of Lakers fans in the chat, I'm sure, that hate that, so we can yak about all of that stuff. I like Prestige. Those parallels sell really good for me, says Kevin. They do have good case hits. That's the thing, Gardner, Kevin, is I do agree about Prestige having some good case hits. So anything with like some case hits, definitely a legit product. So maybe even wrong saying Prestige, but just any of those paper products are just not going to be holding value long-term rookie-wise, and I would say that that's going to be a reason why I put those in my bottom 3. Absolutely. Eric says, I got my Pokemon. It said pre-order, but those came faster than everything else Target has sent me. Talking about the Charizard boxes that he scored last time during the restock 2 weeks ago. Congratulations, man. Nice. That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick indeed. Prizm Football, the worst product, the worst set of the year, hands down, says Troy Spartan. Well, if you go for hobby, man, it's a much better buy, but the price point is just way out of people's range. When you got hobby, you got chances at case hits. You got the Prizm stained glass. You've got, I believe, a Color Blast chance as well out of Prizm 2021 this year. There's so many sets running around my head right now. So there's multiple chances at case hits out of Prizm Hobby. The retail was way too watered down, unfortunately. They just did not really make good enough chance at you pulling any numbered cards in retail for Prizm this year, which I feel like is pretty similar to years past, but because you couldn't hit like numbered cards in Prizm retail, you were at least able in the football. I still remember 2020 seeming like there's a reason why the retail boxes are so popular, because the hit rate just was a lot higher. There's no scientific, methods behind that. There's no working equations behind that or working the numbers or anything, but it just felt like it was a ton easier to pull those silvers, to pull, when you were grabbing a blaster box, you felt like you had a legit chance at an Orange Cracked Ice Herbert or Burrow or Jalen Hurts. And now, with Hurts playing the way he is and making the case for his MVP season right now, giving even more value to 2020. We got a Lamar v. RG3 debate happening in the chat. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's going to be going down the rabbit hole. That's fantastic. I love the way the chat goes sometimes. What's going on, Game to Games? Good to see you. Just hoping for a sports card restock on Target.com this morning. Have not seen any action happening on the ceaseless Discord monitors or the Target tracker. If y'all are trying to get Prizm Cellos, we do have those in stock. Prizm basketball Cellos on the website right now. Out of Prizm NVA, I pulled John Morant Green Pulsar out of 25. Nice, Mikey Wop. Congratulations, man. Burrow got killed last night by the defense, is Eddie Castaneda. No kidding. Yeah, 32-13, the final score in Monday Night Football last night. Pretty mediocre records coming out of that Monday night game for both teams. Bengals at 500 at 4-4, and I believe the Browns getting all the way to 3-5. Woohoo. Do you think, I would assume that if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, 3-5 is probably a win for you at this point. You're just hoping that you've got it would be awesome if you could get 5 wins, but you're just hoping you can get 4 wins on your record when Deshaun Watson comes back. Yes, he's going to play. We don't really it's not debating anything else, but he will play. But wondering if Cleveland Browns fans are kind of just hoping to have 4 wins on the schedule and seeing maybe if at that point he can lead them to the playoffs when Watson comes back there in Cleveland. And speaking of the Cleveland Browns, the NFL trade deadline going on. One guy that a lot of teams are looking at and that has been on the block for quite a bit is Kareem Hunt. So interested to see if he gets moved or not. Been a lot of conversation around him. I know the Rams missed out on Christian McCaffrey, so they could be going after Hunt. A couple other teams that I'm sure y'all are fans of need a running back as well. So if y'all want Hunt, let me know in the chat below. Fins up. Jalen Green is a shot chucker, says Michael Chan. I like Jalen Green over Cade, says Joe from Hawaii. What's going on? Matt Lanfrank says, good morning, Schulte. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate that, man. We're just hanging out, talking sports, hoping to see some sports cards dropped on Target.com, specifically some Select Football 2021. Not sure if and when we are going to see that today, but this is the restock week on Target.com, so we got a pretty good shot. I think we got a great shot, actually. I mean, I said 2 weeks ago, hey, I think this is the week that we see 2021 Select Megas. We didn't see 2021 Select Megas, so I cannot, in my wildest of dreams, think that Panini and Fanatics and whoever the hell else has their hands on the distribution at this point, because we really don't know going forward. We really don't know. I think that it's a pretty safe bet that we got Select coming out. I just can't believe that they would make us wait any longer than they have. Although they made us wait with all that Prizm basketball mega box action for months longer. I mean, we saw Prizm, what was that, like an late July, August release, and then the basketball megas didn't come our way till early October. So really crappy, but that's kind of the way that it's been as card fans. Appreciate y'all. Almost 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 East Coast time. Please make sure you hit that like button. It does help me feed a couple of kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Bunch of y'all's in here. So yeah, if ton of y'all, if you could, just at the same time, you click that like button. You know how that works, man. YouTube, living and dying by that algorithm. Appreciate y'all, and hitting that like button really does help that algorithm. And it's funny, every time I say that, I have a jackwagon that hits that dislike button. It's like, well, that helps too. So, so there you go. So you think you're doing damage and you ain't. Oh man, we got a big debate going on. I love it. Cade over Jalen, says Jacob Fields. So that is actually a great question, you guys. I mean, as far as collectability in the hobby right now, football versus basketball. Who's a better long-term play? Would you go the top rookie out of the 2021 football class, or would you go the top rookie out of the 2021-22 basketball class, which right now is Cade Cunningham? So would you go Cade, or in 2021, looking at probably Trevor Lawrence still? So would you go Cade? Would you go T-Law? I think it's an easy comparison that you go Cade. Now you're looking back to 2020, and I think this is where the debate starts to get hairy and where people are starting to kind of push off on each other a little bit. Wondering, hey, Jalen Hurts looking good, playing for a possible MVP this year. Does he have better long-term collectability possibilities, or is it Cade Cunningham? And that debate, I think, could go on for quite a bit in the chat. That's actually a really, really good question. I think a lot of people would probably assume one over the other at this point, but I think that it's a bit closer when you actually look at it than people think. And remember, even with the prices going down the way that they have, those big players. Looks like I moved my window up there. Excuse me. Those big players still do have some of those like championships and awards already kind of baked into their pricing before anything happens. And that's Jalen Hurts, never been to a Super Bowl. Cade Cunningham, never been to an NBA Finals, but an MVP, that's huge for your value long term. Multiple MVPs, that's when we start talking, okay, let's see what he does in the playoffs. Let's see what kind of Hall of Fame possibilities this guy's got. And that is where you get your long-term collectability, obviously. So laying that out, it's simple, but usually that's how that works as far as peeps trying to grab the best hits from a certain class. And yeah, MVPs, massive playoff runs, championships, stupid statistics. We're talking video game statistics. Those are the kinds of things that make a player go boom in the collector's market going forward. That's what you want. Joe from Hawaii says John Morant's better than everybody. Giannis is a better player, though. Man, I got to tell y'all, John Morant, everything I've been saying about him, I'll toot my own horn on this, but I don't think it's like a non-obvious hard prediction that I was making. John Morant is like Damian Lillard 2.0. Essentially, he's got all that athleticism that Damian Lillard had when he exploded onto the scene, but like 1,000% times that athleticism. Dude can get up. Dude's getting to the hoop. All kinds of flying around at the hoop. Dame can dunk it. Dame can fly around, but he has a little bit more of a priority on saving his body, I think. John Morant, just at this age, still young, doesn't matter. Plays the game a bit differently and attacks the hoop with just relentless vigor. And oh my goodness, John Morant is so fun to watch, and he is becoming just the face of the NBA, or one of the faces of the NBA, along with like Luka and Giannis at this point. Just so good. I love watching me some Ja. And yeah, like I said, not really a hard prediction to make, but yeah, John Morant is turning into Damian Lillard 2.0. For sure. Sean Moore says Luka better. And Luka has been playing well quite a bit lately also. What did he have, like 44 the other night? I didn't see what their latest score was. If the Mavs did play last night or not. I actually kind of tuned out of the NBA for a couple of days because the Blazers had a couple of days off. So I just turned my attention to the NFL and college football this weekend after the Blazers' last game because, hey, during this time of year, there's just so much going on. It's hard to pay attention to all of it at once, but I'll get my NBA cap back on and we can kind of look at Luka. But I did see Run Good Life posting on Instagram about it was a picture of Luka's white sparkle about his 44-point performance, talking about the Mavs making a run to the finals possibly this year. A good chance that Dallas, the team out of the West. I don't know. I think a lot of teams in the West, obviously a lot better than the East Coast or the Eastern Conference teams, but Dallas is one of those teams, along with Golden State, that I think people are going to be looking at the end of the year. Everybody thinking that Minnesota is going to be a powerhouse as well. We'll see how that goes along the season. And, of course, there's the dark horses. There's the Memphis Grizzlies with Ja. There's all kinds of other teams there that can make a difference in the NBA Finals as well. Or the NBA playoffs, excuse me, and make it harder for teams like the Mavs to get to the NBA Finals. Dallas needs another star, says NY Kiddo 6. You're not wrong. No, I don't think you're wrong there, man. God, the Portland Trailblazers need another star as well, but that's another story. Good Lord. 44, 14, and 11. Luka triple-double, says Juan Vasquez. God, what a stud. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding about Luka, man. His value and the rookie card chase that he started and that kind of sent that hobby into crazy status with prices and with people checking out cards at their local stores and stuff like that. Every single bit of that hype for Luka Doncic is warranted. Unfreaking believable. Tim says, do you think NBA is all West? No, of course not, Tim. I was just talking about the teams out of the West. I was talking about the teams there out of the West. As far as teams versus like East versus West, I would say the West overall is better. Yes, but of course, you got great teams in the East. You got Boston, you got Toronto, but Milwaukee really is the team on top. And there are other dark horses. I know Chicago, people are expecting them to do better this year. There are a lot of teams in the East Coast that could make some noise. But, yeah, even with LeBron and the Lakers sucking it up so bad, I still think the West is stronger than the East. And I'm not, Tim, in years past, it has been a bleep ton stronger. And I would say that it's a lot closer this year. In the last 3-4 seasons, it's definitely kind of that gap has definitely started to close up. So I'm not trying to throw the East under the bus by any means. Luka's so damn good and he looks like Schultz, LMAO, says Brett. Well, yeah, that's how that works. That's how those Eastern Europeans work, baby. I mean, my last name is Schultz. His last name is Doncic. What do you expect, Brett? What the hell do you expect, man? You don't have to be a cut, perfectly shaped athlete to be a 40-point guy a night, all right? Shoot, man. I take that one personally. I'm kidding. I'm obviously kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, that's so funny. Justin Lambert, what's going on, man? Good to see ya. Good to see you, brother. Joe from Hawaii asking another good question. Tua better than Herbert and Burrow, perhaps? That's another good debate we can have as well. Lakers going to trade, talking about LeBron, says Tyler Young. Man, that would be insane. Or you mean they're going to trade for somebody? They're going to trade Westbrook, sorry. Russell Westbrook possibly being put on the block. But who's going to take Russ, and what are they going to get for him? I'm not sure I don't know that's going to work out for either team at that point. Tim McConnell says, okay, there's deaf years. It's West versus LeBron. You're not wrong. So, yeah. No, you go back, Tim, to like the late 2000s to the mid 2010s. I would say that it was definitely the West versus LeBron when he was over there in Cleveland and in Miami. But, yeah, the gap has definitely started to close up in the past. I would say, yeah, half a decade to maybe even 7 years or so. Cat has a dad bod. Or cat dad bod. Cat dad bods is Robbie Ramsberg. There you go. Luka Doncic tonight. We got kitty dad bods. Cat dad bods. That's great. Luka equals 3 straight first all NBA teams, says Juan Vasquez. I mean, ball don't lie, guys. To quote Rasheed Wallace, former Blazer, ball don't lie. What's going on? Paul Tuttle 420 got a gold Crown Royal to 10. I love gold. Hell yeah. Jalen Green, holder cell. Congratulations, Paul. That is a massive hit. Ooh. I don't know, Paul. Young guys like that. Jalen's so good. I mean, I just watched the Blazers. They beat the Rockets the other night before getting a few days off. So I just watched Jalen Green play really well. Oh, man, that's a tough one. He's going for a lot right now, brother. And for him to get any higher in value, I think the Rockets are going to have to make a massive playoff run. So I would say sell. If you're trying to get max value, Paul, I would say sell right now. But there are a lot of people that would tell me, Schultzy, you're crazy. Don't listen to Schultzy. Go listen to other guys for sports card investing advice. I mean, I'm not, as far as like sports card investing, I'm all about getting money out of your cards quicker, but hey, we all have guys that we want to take chances on long term that could just go nebula, cosmic kind of value wise, and give us that payoff like 10, 20, 15, 10, 20, 25 or 30 years down the road. Yeah, Michael says sell that, Paul. Sell that. Yeah. Gold Crown Royal to 10. That is huge. That is huge, man. But I would say sell that. Hard sell, get your max value. And yeah, like I said, as far as the value for Jalen Green goes, I do think that he is going to have to make a massive, like a very, very visible run. We're going to be talking about like 40-point performances every night for Jalen Green. A visible run through the NBA playoffs. Getting the Rockets to the NBA Finals for his value on that card to increase it all. Well, Paul Pierce smoking that good stuff, though, so Ciscano, that's hilarious. All right, guys, continuing the Luka debate, continuing the Ja v. Cade debate, continuing the Cade v. Jalen Hurts debate. We can talk all kinds of who's betters this morning as we wait for sports cards to drop on Target.com. Have not seen anything happening as far as restocks yet from the ceaseless Discord monitors or the Target tracker. But that could change. We could have a late morning restock. Who the hell knows? Target has kept us on our toes the last 3 months, y'all. They have changed the day from Tuesday to Wednesday. They've done a late morning restock. Instead of going with like a backload at 4:10, 4:15, they went with one at like 4:50, 4:55. It's the reason we extended the hot zone until 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. East Coast time, because Target likes to keep us on our toes. But they really could keep us on our toes completely and just make us wait for a restock tomorrow as well. That's entirely possible. Tomorrow is stock day, says Frank V. the third. Yeah, Frank, we've been seeing Wednesdays, but hey, like I say, anything is possible, man. We saw, I've been doing these for over a year, and we saw Tuesdays be the day after it was a random day per week during each week, and then it was the switch that was made 3 months ago, and we've seen Fridays on the schedule. We've seen all kinds of different days being the restock day. So yes, at this point, it has been Wednesday. It has been Wednesday, but we don't know. We don't know going forward if Target's going to keep it that way, when they're going to switch the schedule on us, if they're going to switch the schedule up on us. I know from looking back at it, it seems like once a year, maybe twice, they like to make a change on the day per week. I don't know if that's just because they're trying to keep people on their toes, or if because it just works better with like the employees that are working. I'm betting that's what it is. I really don't think that there's like this huge conspiracy theory against, like, oh, well, we need to keep these people on their toes. I don't think anybody's watching Schultz's card pulls right now and sitting there being like, oh, they're waiting, we're going to move a day. It's most likely whoever's working, and it's most likely, whoever's being employed by Target.com to handle that restock, or to be there for, IT or whoever the hell is supposed to be there for support on Targets.com's end when that's going on. It fits that schedule for them more. That's got to be it. Eric A says, you dip, Daniel? You dip, Daniel? God. Another very famous scammer quote there. Oh, you guys are awesome. Mello versus Ant, says Dunk Cards. Great question there as well. And great question there as well. The two top rookies from the 2020-21 class. Jalen Suggs is decent, says Michael Chang. Every day except Monday, says Sal. LOL. Yeah, nobody, Sal, nobody, whether it be employees for Target.com or the card companies or whatever, nobody wants to be waking up early on a Monday and making a restock happen like that. Hell no. Joe from Hawaii, Bobby Witt Jr., sell or hold. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is a hold, man. I think he's a hold. You hodl that Bobby Witt Jr. like Hodor was holding the door in Game of Thrones, man. You hold that Bobby Witt Jr. every day of the week. He's going to be in the Rookie of the Year voting for the American League this year. Not going to win it. Julio, he's going to be winning it. Congratulations to Julio Rodriguez. I would assume the unanimous Rookie of the Year at this point. So, would be the second since Kyle Lewis. And then the third, I think, since Ichiro, actually. I think Ichiro was the unanimous Rookie of the Year, unless I'm totally wrong and there was a Rookie of the Year for Alvin Davis, I think, for the Mariners. That might have been a unanimous one, but I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But Julio has a good chance to be a unanimous Rookie of the Year. But yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. is a hodl. Absolutely. Brandon Cooks to 99. Brandon Cooks to 99. All right. Oh, yeah. Great question. M.PokeWorld, can you tell us what Drip is? Absolutely, guys. Drip is an awesome app. Got sports card collectibles and Funkos, Pokemon cards, all kinds of stuff on an app at the tips of your fingers. Essentially, you can go in, participate in auctions, participate in live sales, all kinds of stuff on that app for sports cards, for Pokemon, all of those things. And if you use the QR code or the link down in my description to get $15 off your first purchase of $20 or more from dripshop.live. Now has never been a better time to join, because I am going to be doing a retail rally this Sunday on Drip. It's going to be simulcast here on YouTube. However, you have to be on Drip to get access to some of that retail. We're going to be giving away some retail, 2021 retail, some 2020 as well. And essentially in that retail rally, we're going to be doing retail costs when they were released for 2020 products. And then that's going to lead up to a big event on Black Friday at the end of the month. We're going to be having at least that weekend of Black Friday. I think the Sunday after is when I'm going to be going on. And we'll be doing an awesome a slab giveaway of a 2020 PSA 10 rookie, and then a 2020 Prizm Football Mega Box as well. So all kinds of big things coming up on Drip, guys. You do have to be on that app to get a chance to get those cards through the retail rally that we're doing on Sunday. But with that $15 off, essentially you're going to be getting stuff for almost nothing. It's going to be super, super low cost. So check it out, guys. Dripshop.live. Dunk Cards says no drops so far. Unfortunately, Dunk Cards is right. No drops so far. Julio will win, says Matthew Trinite. But Adley deserves votes. He changed the Orioles franchise immediately. Yes, he did, Matthew. Yes, he did. And oh my goodness, so cool. Go back and watch the break that I ran on Sunday. One of two breaks. The second one was a 3-2 Panini half case break with 2022 Bowman Sterling. And on the way to its customer, going to be later today in the mail, is an Adley Rushman. One of two relic from 3-2 Panini. It was beautiful. It was just great. We had the cool base tag, and then we also had the, I think it was like one of the main parts of the jersey letter. It was just an awesome dual patch Adley Rushman, 1 out of 2 out of 3-2. Just such a sweet card to pull. You can go check that out from Sunday's break. You drip, Daniel. I appreciate you, Tony. You love George Kirby, says Brian. Yes, I do. I love me some George Kirby. And yeah, Adam N, Brandon Cooks to 99. Brandon Cooks to 99. Yeah, all the scammer quotes for sure. All right, 4:46 Pacific, y'all. I can't even talk. 7:46 East Coast time. Almost 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We've got about 13 minutes left in the hot zone here on SCHULTZY'S Card Pulse. Nothing happening as yet as far as sports card restocks, but hey, that could change in the next 15 minutes. And of course, if we don't see anything today, we will see it tomorrow. That'll be the way it goes. Damn, that's a huge hit on the Adley, says Matthew, right? That was massive. And then, of course, since I got a lot of peeps from Oregon, and guys, I would love you. There are 600 of you here right now, so I know y'all can come here in mass at one time. Would love y'all to hang out watching those breaks. You don't have to participate. You don't have to buy in, but we do have some stuff for free for the chat. We've got sealed wax. We've got fillers every single week for those people in the chat. So come on, hang out. It's fun. It's essentially the same thing. We're talking sports cards. We're talking hopeful restocks and news about the hobby and news about sports. But instead of me just sitting here talking, I'm actually breaking cards. So I don't know. Figured something that might entertain a couple more people. There's an added visual element there as well. So check it out, guys. We'll be breaking this Sunday. Most likely going to be doing some select basketball. Trying to get my hands on some first off the line. It's spendy, but it's a fun box, and I think it's a box that a lot of people are digging in breaks right now. So probably going to run like a 2 or 3 select basketball first off the line break, and We've got another half case of 3 and 2. Got another half case of 3 and 2, plus some Prizm baseball, so you can get a chance at a snakeskin, all kinds of good stuff. Cheese Luis says, I got work in an hour. No doubt. No doubt. John says, Adley is awesome, though. Can't wait to see what he does in the future, man. Adley's going to be so good. Adley is just going to be one of the, not cornerstones for the Orioles franchise only going forward, but he is absolutely going to be probably one of the top faces of Major League Baseball going forward for the next decade and a half. And they need marketable stars. That's one thing that Major League Baseball has been lacking. Mike Trout doesn't want to go out and be the face of MLB. Well, you know what? Who does? Guys like Ronald Acuna Jr. You know who does? Julio Rodriguez. Adley Rutschman hopefully does as well. So we've got multiple people out there of that talent level, nebulistic talent level, going out and showing young kids why it's awesome to be a baseball player going forward. How's Mike Jonestock says, NY Kid 06? That's a great question. I think it's kind of wavering. I think if you had to put it on a little bit of a chart, it was going up, and then it kind of tanked a little bit, and now it's kind of holding steady. So it was here, now it's here, but it is still up there. But one guy that has no value long term is going to be Bailey Zappi. That is not going to be the savior in New England, unfortunately. He did not come out looking good. And if you don't come out looking good over and over and over again, and you have one good game, maybe two good games, the fire fades pretty quick. So no Zappy, no likey, unfortunately, for most collectors out there. Simple Modding says, Schultz, what do you think of Kyle Trask's potential? Well, I mean, we've got to see him play first next year, but at this point, his potential is huge. He is one of those guys that you really can buy for cheaper, and the potential for growth there in an investment is there. So Kyle Trask potential for an investment is huge. Will he be that quarterback, that's a 3-time MVP Super Bowl winner? We don't know. We don't know yet. But can he be a respectable quarterback, starting quarterback in the NFL? Even if he is a respectable starting quarterback in the NFL, the value of his cards, I think, will go up slightly. So, he is an investable piece right now. I think that's somebody that a lot of guys should look at. But once again, I'm no expert. A lot of people asking investing advice this morning, man. This is just my feel on different players and looking at the different ceilings. I mean, guys, there's so many different crappy players that you could put your hands on or put your money into. But when you've got a guy, whoever it is, Kyle Trask or anybody like in Trask's situation, where you've got an incumbent quarterback seat that's going to be open, with Tom Brady probably retiring after this year, I would be absolutely shocked. I would drive my car off of a cliff if Tom Brady did not retire after this season. So Trask is going to be getting a shot soon with a pretty decent team, talent-wise, a lot of weapons, and he's got talent, he's got skill. The value on Trask isn't there right now, so yeah, he's an investable piece for sure. Definitely got a chance there. So if y'all are in on Trask specifically or wondering whether you should be, yeah, I mean that's definitely someone to look at. That's definitely not a bad guy to buy a couple of numbered parallels of, for sure. All right, we're looking at about 6 or 7 minutes left in the hot zone right now. We're at 4:52 Pacific, 7:52 East Coast time. Yeah, looking less and less likely as we see each minute pass that we're going to see a restock from Target.com. But that means that, if we don't see one here in the next 7 minutes, we're most likely going to be seeing one tomorrow on Target. Hopefully some select football mega action finally coming our way. Finally, maybe. Dunk Card says, Giselle is leaving Brady over 3 more months of football, November, December, January, maybe a weekend of February if they make the Super Bowl. Why break up the family and divorce over 3 more months? Dunk Cards, it's not about the 3 more months of football. It's about the commitment that he had already made to the family, I think, as far as the Tom and Giselle thing, brother. I think he had already promised her, and you had heard her referring to many interviews to the time that she had been looking forward to where she could focus on her career. She had been setting stuff aside for so long. She had been putting the family first. She had been putting Tom first, and she was so excited, looking forward to that agreed upon point where Tom was going to step back and they were going to kind of swap roles a little bit because Giselle wanted to go out and take care of her and do her career. It's not about the 3 months. It's about him coming back in general, I think, man. Yeah, it's definitely deeper than the 3 months. And not only the football season, you guys, but, you know, Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen are normal people. They got normal problems just like the rest of us. It does go a little bit beyond football, I'm sure. They aren't just peeps on a screen. And, you know, that marriage is not not immune to any troubles that any other marriages have. Yeah, there's got to be many reasons they're divorcing. That's probably a big one, but we won't know. And honestly, it sucks that we're all speculating about it. Exactly, says M. Paul Duffy, says Schulte knows the personal details of their marriage. Just as I'm saying, I don't know. No, M. Paul, but I am a product of 5 divorces. So as far as anybody getting divorced, I think I've got a pretty decent viewpoint and perspective to comment on it. As far as why divorces happen and why. That's not really something I've ever talked about, you guys. Yeah, my parents, and I love them all to death. But yeah, my parents did not get it right multiple times in their marriages. So when we talk about that situation, it's like, I'm not talking about knowing specifically the details of their marriage. What I'm saying is I've witnessed marriages crumble personally in front of me. Okay? Like, I can't comment on their marriage. I can comment on a marriage breaking up. So, Rip Holder Sell Fanatics Basketball 2021. Fanatics Basketball, like you're talking about Fanatics exclusives? I would probably rip those, man. See if you can pull big old parallel out of there for sure. Yeah, no, none of us know, Paul. That's the thing. None of us know. Juan says, I told my wife the other day I love cards more than her because she talked too much. Jeez, Juan. Yikes. Yikes, man. Don't be saying that too much more. You're going to be getting a divorce too, bro. Oh, man. Yikes. Yeah, Joe from Hawaii says this is a retired military member who's been deployed multiple times. I laughed hysterically when he compared to the NFL to being deployed. Yeah, that was a bad one. And I know he came out and apologized for that. There are just some things that you got words coming out of your mouth and you're like, oh, that was bad. That was bad. Your place for flan dessert, says Adam N. Talking about Fanatics. That's funny. Oh, she shops too much. Oh, Juan. Okay, that's actually not as bad. Yeah, you can tell her she shops too much. That's okay, Juan. My bad. I just didn't read that correctly. My bad. My bad. That's actually, yeah, I've seen a couple of big spenders and breaks talking about like, hey, you know what? My wife's buying all those big old purses and big old expensive items, so I'm absolutely going to be free on spending money on cards. It ain't no sweat for me. It's fine. Horhellion 311 says pulled a gold Parcel Curry from last year's Flux set, coming back a PSA 10 popped 1. Boom! Congrats, Horhellion. Atta baby. Huge pull there, man. Huge pull indeed. All right, we're looking at the hot zone trickling away second after second. So yeah, we're looking at most likely no restock today on Target.com, but we do have the week. The week is now. We do have a restock, if not coming today, coming our way tomorrow here on Target.com with, I would hope, a Select Football Mega Box. Finally, it is November. We've seen Select Football out for over a month now. Let's do it. We got to get some Select Football Mega action. Come on. Eric says, I found a Julio Rodriguez Bowman Chrome rookie in my stuff. That is awesome, Eric. Congrats, man. Ooh, I'm jealous of that. Yeah, I've been looking at Julio Rodriguez, Bowman Chrome rookies. They are just so expensive. I would love a green parallel, but not sure that's going to happen. Just way expensive. Bills, is any information or any confirmation that they are making select football megas? I do have a link that they are on target.com. So yes, Bill, we do have confirmation that they are out there. We haven't seen pictures of them yet, but we have a couple of different screenshots. One, a guy from Twitter, and another that I've seen in Discord that has shown that they are on websites, that they are loaded onto websites, you know, like any other item to be purchased. And we also have the link for the Target Select Football Mega Box as well. So yes, that leads me to believe that is enough info for me to have confirmation that they are going to be dropping. I don't think it's this guessing game at this point anymore. It's just a matter of when. I'm happy that I have hobby boxes of Topps Fire, says Eric A. There you go. Mercari made over $2,000 from me. Or $2 from me, or are you saying $2,000 from me? Daniels, his thoughts select megas weren't a thing. I mean, Daniel, we have got a link from target.com as well as a couple of screenshots that they are on a different sites, or at least Target. So I know for a fact that they have been put online, or at least we've seen photo confirmation, and hopefully it's not photoshopped or anything. I don't think somebody would have been doing that. This seemed like a pretty legitimate source. So I would say, yeah, we got select football megas coming our way. Carl, that's a great question. What about Chronicles megas? I do not know, man. Chronicles football megas, Carl, I would assume are sitting somewhere as well. You think that that's not something that Panini would tamper back on? They could print a lot of that and sell a lot of that easy. Sky is asking what is in the Select Mega. Most likely going to be numbered parallels, chances at autos, and then you've got some chances at tie-dyes and zebras, case hits out of those Select Megas as well. What's going on, MJ Card Bros? And speaking of Select, man, I would love to do big old... I did this last year, a 2020 Select Football break with a ton of Mega Boxes. Would love to do that again. God, I remember doing that when it was retail cost. That was so much fun. Yeah, no restock, MJ Card Bros, unfortunately. 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. East Coast time, and unfortunately, no restock happening on Target.com today. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Muted. Appreciate you guys. Anyways, so we do have evidence. I did see somebody asking in the chat. Panini know where the hits are going, Schulte? LOL. We do have evidence. Very easy evidence. And this is a... I made this point on my break a week ago Sunday that Panini absolutely knows where the hits are going. Absolutely knows. And here's why. There are stamps on the inside of every single blaster box and hanger box and any kind of box that is sent out by Panini or Topps. They're all stamped with the same number per case. So if you got 20 blasters in a case, which is most cases are loaded with 20 blasters, you got 20 blasters with the same exact 5-digit number with a dash in the middle. All of those printed on every single one of the insides of those boxes. And you're telling me that Panini don't know where the hits are going? Duh, they do. And if you missed my actual rant on that, oh god, I think JML or Run Good Life clipped it. Somebody clipped it. It's funny. I should probably just put it out there as a short. I appreciate you. Eric says, I don't care as much about the drops as just spending time listening to Schultz. Eric, I appreciate you, man. Well, shoot, dang. You know, guys, there's 450 of you here doing that. You guys are awesome and you rock. We could do that, guys. Y'all show up during breaks. We'll be talking. It's like more like a long form live stream. So we got 5+ hours where I'm hanging out, 4 or 5+ hours talking hobby, talking sports, doing the same thing. There's obviously not a chance for cards at that point to be dropped on target.com, but y'all are here hanging out, and there's no chance for cards to unfortunately be dropped on target.com past the hot zone expiring. So hope y'all show up and we can hang. Adam N says, great community. No kidding, Adam. Yeah, we got a great card community here on YouTube. Absolutely. And yeah, so I think I accidentally hit my mic from on to put it into queue. So it was only going into like a preview channel and not on the air. So I apologize for that one. Paul says, got an Ailinger tie-dye to 25, pulled from a blaster. Somebody traded me out. I agree with Nick. Yeah, sell that yesterday, Paul. Sell that yesterday. Sam Ailinger, starter right now for the Indianapolis Colts. Sell that tie-dye right now. Oh, man. Yeah, sell that right now. Appreciate you guys for letting me know I was muted. I apologize. Wow. $15 Instagram or $15 on eBay for a Sam Ailinger blue scope. That's awesome, Nick. Yeah, sell your Sammies. Sell your Sammy E's right now. Go do it. It's very profitable. Eric, you're awesome, man. Says, whenever I see Schultzy live, it feels like something good just dropped. Dude, I appreciate that. That makes me feel good inside, dude. Thank you, bro. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, guys, apologize that we did not see a restock today, but hopefully we see one coming our way tomorrow. It's very, very possible. If not probable. I think it's extremely probable at this point. Adam N says, I waited too long on my Jared Stidham rookie card auto. Ooh, Adam, that sucks, man. Yeah, you played the waiting game and you waited too long. That's I hate when that happens. Sky says, you were talking about Panini knowing where the hits were going. Yeah, so let's see. I've got an optic. You know what? Let's just use this as an example. All right, I have an extra optic hanger sitting here. So Panini, and actually we got to open this one up, so we're doing a quick rip here on Schultzy's card pulls. But Panini knows where the hits are going, and here's proof, okay? We've got a stamp on the inside of every single one of these boxes. There's none on the outside, right? We got a sealed optic hanger. And we, as you can see, open up with really no indication that the box is different than any other box until you get to the flap on the inside. Right there, right? 21501. So that number is on every single hanger. Let's see if there's a downtown in here or something like that. Every single hanger that came in that case. And it matches all of those other hangers in that case. It is put in that case with those other hangers, specifically notated with a hit going inside of there. You've got all of those numbers organizing how stuff is distributed. Adam Bomb Breaks is lurking. Thanks, Schultz, as always, for providing this service. You rock. I appreciate you, Adam. Ugh, well, all right, the card on the back sucks. The image variation rated rookie holo is a Simi Fioco. So it's S. Absolute S. Can we get it downtown, you guys? I don't know. Help me see here. If I could fan it the right way. Can we get it downtown? I don't think we can. I don't think we're going to hit it downtown. I don't see it downtown. That's okay. All right, let's get to, maybe we'll pull a T-Law or a Mac Jones or a Sammy Ehlinger or something. I don't know. Got a Tylan Wallace, got a Ramondre on the Silver Hollow, Jalen Phillips on the first Blue Scope, got a Kadarius Toney on the second Blue Scope, and our last Blue Scope, which was Richie Grant. So, with that, and then a white hot rookies there of Trey Lance, red hot rookies of Trey Lance. What that box notated, at least with that number, is that there was nothing in at least that box. However, there is a specific hit in that case that number is associated with. Downtowns were first wave loaded, says Paul Tuttle 420. Yeah, I don't think any of the late optic that people are going to be getting their hands on are going to have downtowns in them. And that's one thing that Panini gets away with by not putting odds on their boxes. Very, very frustrating there. Because essentially, they can change the print runs in the middle of the product being released already. So they can put downtowns in the front of the product. They can put downtowns in the end run of a product. And you don't know, because all the pack odds can pretty much change with each week that Panini decides to print more or less. Al says, I agree it can be tracked, but it doesn't actually prove it. I do think there's something going on behind the scenes, though. Al, there's no reason that those stamps would be there if it wasn't for tracking for what's in those boxes and what boxes are in a case. That's it. That's the only reason that Panini would have those numbers on there. I mean, there is a stocking number. I'm assuming that's kind of what that is associated with a specific case, and those all have different things divvied up amongst them. Some cases have more hits in them, some have like no hits in them, and that is, to me, just more than enough proof. When you see a stamp on the inside of a box, and people have been talking about this for years, I'm honestly surprised that people haven't really dove into this a little bit deeper. Yeah, John says, Panini does this, but yeah, we are all still here. Well, what we're hoping for and waiting for, John, is that when Fanatics takes over, it's going to get better. I think that's why people are still here. But yeah, it's a crappy money grab on Panini's end. You're not wrong, man. We all buy in and we all still do it. Dunk says BYB and Leighton rip a ton, but not more than the rest of the world combined. All the shops, smaller breakers, individuals in US, Europe, China, Australia, products go to the same 3 biz is plan. I mean, and that right there, you talk about one group of people or one location. Screw, guys. Screw. Let's just not think about who's pulling them, okay? Let's think about regionally. Let's take a step back. Let's take Backyard Breaks. Let's take Leighton. Let's take all the people out of it. I like kind of how Dunkhead is thinking, and or Dunk Cards is thinking, and this is kind of where my head's at. The regional distribution of Panini's hits, of Topps' hits, is a part of their business plan, right? You have to separate the hits to say, hey, we're giving you sort of a fair shot. Kind of makes me think of, remember when Michael Scott in The Office, he came up with that Willy Wonka golden ticket idea, and he mistakenly had no idea about how his pallets of paper were distributed and anything like that, and just put 5 golden tickets into different boxes. Lo and behold, all of those golden tickets went to the biggest client of Dunder Mifflin, and he put them in the same order going out to the same client. There is a need to track different shipments, different sizes, different cases, different hits. Screw who's pulling them. But the fact that 3 of those 1-of-1s, or 3 of those hits, those big ones, the Cade Cunningham, 101 Finite, the Trevor Lawrence, all of that getting sent to Florida is absolutely ridiculous. Panini knows what distributor Backyard Breaks is buying through. They know. And you're telling me that somebody along the lines isn't able to push some of those cases or boxes towards a specific region. You guys, like, I'm not going to be able to convince otherwise. I'm sorry. Like, you guys are crazy if you don't think that's happening. Like, just screw who's pulling it. How could those 3 one-of-ones end up in the same region in the first place? They aren't the only ones buying cards in the world, right? Platinum Breaks, Leighton Sports Cards, Blez. There's a ton of big breakers out there. A ton. And this is definitely just kind of getting a little... We're going down the muck as far as the numbers go, but you just cannot tell me that 3 one-on-ones like that ending up in the same part of the country, because that's kind of how I always thought of it. It's like, you know, what hits are ending up where? And if I live in a certain part of the country, what are my chances if I go to my local card shop at actually pulling a big card? What are my chances if I live in Portland, Oregon, as compared to El Paso, Texas? And you can kind of circumvent that if you see, you know, a big hit always being pulled by a specific breaker. Well, you don't have to live in that part of the country. You can just go do business with that breaker. But once again, overall, it hurts the hobby. Hurts it. Rips is always owner. I always wondered why they have a number in there. And are you saying each case will have different numbers? So Rips, there's each case will have a different number, but the boxes within a case will have the same number. So yeah, Rips anything. Say you go to your local Target and you find some blaster boxes on the shelf. You're more likely than not pulling those blaster boxes off the shelf that came out of one singular case. And those blasters are going to have a number on the top of there that's going to be the same. If they come from different cases, they are going to be different numbers. If that hanger box that I just opened is from another case of the optic hanger that I have next to it on the table over here, then it's going to be a different number. If it's from the same case, it's going to be the same number. Dunk says, would have been better having Drake pull the triple logo man, still fixed, but would have brought a lot of new people into the hobby. Drake's a trendsetter, and Chase the LeBron 3 logo man. You're not wrong, Dunk, but I honestly, man, it just sucks for the everyday collector watching a guy like that pulling, you know, every single box of Holy Grail possibilities, throw it in front of him on a table because he's a multimillionaire, and just go after it like you and I are going after, you know, 6 blaster boxes and a mega box on a Friday night. It's that I don't think is good for the hobby either. It's fun to see. It's a big event, and that would have brought a lot of people in, but maybe that's just my FOMO. I mean, maybe that's just my jealousy. So I don't know. But I didn't like that either. Yeah, Shaw Cards 1, exactly. Monopoly, McDonald's Monopoly game vibes. Shaw Cards 1, bringing up a very good point. And I've actually spent all week watching the McMillions documentary on HBO Max. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I think it's a great comparison to what could possibly be going on in the hobby. The McDonald's Monopoly scam was a very, very big deal. If y'all don't know, McDonald's runs a Monopoly game, I think a couple of times a year, where you can get like little, basically game pieces that match up to board pieces on Monopoly. You could win $1 million by finding the ever so elusive boardwalk game piece. But essentially, there's only one of those printed every single time that the game is run. So somebody has to go distribute the piece, right? Somebody has to go put it into the run of all the other base pieces, all the other generic pieces. And I've been looking at the parallels from that to the hobby right now and to Panini and how they print cards. And you guys, the footage is there. You can go on Panini's YouTube channel and look at videos from 10, 11 years ago and see how cards are coming off the distribution line. I know Topps actually has a different company that prints their cards. They outsource their work. And I found the name of it. I just can't remember it at the moment. But Panini does all of their printing in-house. They have all their own stuff set up in a warehouse there, or at least that they own. And they kind of collate, how the hits are put into each pack and spread out amongst different releases. And it is so similar to the McDonald's Monopoly scam. So similar. The Hulk Smash says the only issue with that is influencers turning kids into flippers rather than collectors. What would be the best for a hobby as a kid breaking these things? It sounds stupid for us adults, but as always, the kids are the future of the hobby. I mean, the Hulk Smash, I like your idea, but bro, kids are greasy. Kids aren't responsible. And seeing kids breaking these cards over and over and over again, and only kids, I think is just not going to sit well with a lot of collectors, unfortunately. Poke Joe, what's going on? Says, sup SCP fam? Sup Pikachu and Eevee? Sup Mr. Schultz? Hashtag stay awesome. I appreciate that, man. Just hanging out, talking about the hobby, talking sports cards, talking about the possibility. Well, I know. I mean, I know hits are tracked. Hits are absolutely tracked. And if you don't think that, Nana, I will try to provide more proof if I can. But I've got a video coming out here. I've been working on it for 4 days now about the hits being tracked in the hobby and how it is possible. So it'll be fun, hopefully, to see if that actually gets any viewership or traction when it gets out. I'm not really making it for the traction. I just wanted to put my 2 cents into this whole... I'm not really calling any specific group breaker out. What I am doing is, in my opinion, quashing the notion that Panini or Topps or Fanatics does not know where the big hits are going, because that has been one of the major defenses against backyard breaks, against Panini and this kind of scandal, is that they don't know where the hits are going. And it's pretty obvious, at least in my opinion, with the evidence that I've got, that they do know where the hits are going. The Hulk Smash says, don't disagree with give me a kid over Drake. I hear you. Hulk Smash, I hear you, man. No, and I agree with that. Give me a kid over Drake, too. No, if you had to say, hey, Jordan, G to your head, what are you doing, man? Drake or a kid ripping that Logo Man 101? I want a kid ripping that. I want a kid to see that. I want a kid and his dad to freak out ripping that. Guys, that's what the hobby's all about. It's fun when you hit that card yourself, but when you're a part of a community, when you're experiencing different things with your family members, it's the reason why I got into the hobby, because of the love of it with my dad. That's where it's at. And we do have to keep it in its roots like that, at least. And if we don't, and if it does kind of just jump the shark and become all corporate, then yeah, that same love won't be able to be passed on to the next generation. It will be investment only. And that sucks. I don't like that at all. Send Schultzy some hits, Topps, says Brad Selden Esquire. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, that would be awesome. God, send me some hits. I have not pulled anything close to what those guys have pulled. And yeah, that actually is also another good argument for being... Well, somebody else, multiple people have pointed out, like, well, if you took your best 3 hits and compared them to the odds that Backyard Breaks has had pulling their best 3 hits in the last year, your odds would be astronomically high too. Not that high, y'all. Best hits I've pulled was I don't know, not even for me. We pulled a 101 on Sunday. I've pulled 2 101s out of Chronicles. So those odds are pretty astronomical. A football 1 of 1 and a basketball 1 of 1. And honestly, one of them was a very sought after one. It was the Cade Cunningham Panini limited 1 of 1. But since Chronicles has 21 1 of 1s, nobody really cares about that. Sucks, just the way that it goes. But yeah, nobody freaking out when I pulled that one, because it's like maybe $1,000 card at the maximum. But I pulled that one. I pulled an Amon-Ra St. Brown Black 101 Legacy from Chronicles this last Sunday. So, I mean, I've pulled 2 101s. So there you go. The highest odds for Chronicles times 2, pulling a 101 out of each of those products, whatever that is I guarantee you those odds are not nearly as high. And add whatever my third best card was. I think it's the Cade Cunningham 75th anniversary out of Prizm 2021-22. Those have been some bang-up hits, and that was in a break as well for somebody else. So, and that was Hobby, by the way, numbered to 75. Like, I'm trying to think. Those three combined are not even close to, like, top 1 of 1 odds in products. No way. Not even close. Al says that you pulled 3 1 of 1s. I pulled 2 1 of 1s. I pulled 2 1 of 1s. The disc golf says one of those 1 of 1s was mine, but I traded the Lion spot. Yeah. Yeah, you did, bro. That sucks. Yeah, Al, I pulled 2 1 of 1s, but they were out of Chronicles, so it's all watered down when it comes out of Chronicles. The Ant-Man Genesis you pulled was a nice pull. Thanks, Scotto. I appreciate that, man. If BYB has juice boxes, then others have them too. I mean, I'd say other big breakers. It makes sense for Panini's business model to send them to them. All right, but we can get more into this tomorrow, guys. Like I said, I've been working on a video on the hits, and the fact that I think I know Panini absolutely knows where they're going. Just offering my opinion up on that. Hopefully I can get that out as soon as possible. I appreciate you, Macamania. Says that gold Ant-Man auto was sick. Yeah, that was so cool. Out of a retail blaster. That was just nuts, man. All right, I appreciate y'all. We're going to let y'all get on out of here. Be back bright and early tomorrow, hoping for a sports card restock on Target.com. Hope y'all have a great day. Schultz's card pulls out. Be good to yourselves and each other. Stay safe, y'all. Peace. See you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Be here.